Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are going to be getting right into the Aries weekly love outlook for October 5th to the 11th. All right, guys, so let's get right into it for Aries. We'll start off with your oracles of darkness and light just to see what kind of energies you have working with you this week with this relationship, this connection. Now, it might not be a full-blown relationship. It's more like a connection that you have with somebody. You may be with them now, or it may just be beginning to become something important or more involved. So we're just going to see what it is, what the nature of it is, and what the challenge or what the message of the cards are today. All right, guys? It's not going to resonate for all of you, and that's fine. So, Aries, what are we looking at? Spirit of the scales, spirit of communication, and spirit of the rabbit. Oh, well, the rabbit, you know, what do we associate with the rabbit? A lot of sex, right? So, spirit of the scales, we have justice coming in, a rebalancing coming in. We also have spirit of communication, so love letters, emails, texts, phone calls coming in. And then we have spirit of the rabbit, so sex, fertility, love making, and baby making. All right, guys, so this is interesting. It feels good. It's, I wanted to say spirit of communication, spirit of scale, spirit of rabbit. All three are definitely spirits of light. Positive energies coming in. So let's just see. Let me adjust my light a little. Okay, here we go. Let's just see what this week has for you. All right, guys? For Aries and their person, where are they at this week? Got a lot of nice energies from the Oracle deck. So show me what's going on for Aries and their person for October 5th to the 11th. All right, guys. So, this week, your person is coming in with Six of Wands, and you're coming in with Lovers. They see you as the King of Pentacles, and you see them as Judgment. Interesting. They desire the world, and you desire Two of Swords. Decisions, decisions. What needs to happen? We have Seven of Swords, and we have Hermit energy. All right. Interesting energy. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So more scales, more justice energy. We had Spirit of the Scales show up in the oracles. And then we have more sort of, I'm going to even say Libra energy, because Justice is the card in tarot for Libra. Then we have Two of Swords here, which is Moon and Libra energy also. And then Spirit of the Scales in terms of the oracle. So we have a real rebalancing coming in. A need for balance coming in. So let's get right into it. Aries, you and your person's coming in this week with a real public victory, right? Something's going on in their life that is great, right? They've been working towards it. They may have had a little setback recently, but right now they're coming into the week with a really nice victory in their lives. This is just a general energy they're bringing in. Six of Wands is usually like a little win we have along the way, a battle that we may have won in a long war that we are waging, or it could be just a little victory along a much longer sort of path of destination to destination. It's not the final objective, right? That's what I'm trying to get across. Six of Wands is a victory that is fleeting. It's temporary. It's momentary. It isn't the final objective that you're looking for, but it is a victory along the way. You're coming into this week, Aries, with Lovers energy. The Lovers card in tarot is the card for Gemini. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're dealing with a Gemini here. We're really just talking about the fact that you're coming into this week really focusing on Lovers energy in that sense of six major arcana is all about harmony. How do we get love, or how do we find harmony in our love relationships? It's a give and take. Lovers is showing up a lot for the weekly reading this week. For other signs, and I think a lot of us are going through a real rebalancing period. The Lovers talks about the fact that at times there will be confusion between in that space between us. Sometimes there will be clarity, but it is the striving, it is the working, it is the give and take that is that is at the heart of a true twin flame, soulmate, lovers sort of journey, right? The give and take, the work that needs to be put in. Realizing that, right? That you are really two halves of a whole, but each half needs to have its own sort of space and respect and value, distinct from the other. How do you see each other? Well, you guys see each other. Your person is seeing you as King of Pentacles. You're seeing them as Judgment energy. So, there is a little feeling of a bit of a reconciliation going on here. Because Judgment is, the Judgment is about really coming to an understanding in your life where you realize perhaps some of the judgments you've made, some of the decisions you've made, some of the ways that you've acted, you're starting to see the other side of it. You're starting to see the other perspective of that particular situation. There's an understanding, I want to say, not so much identifying, but sort of being able to relate, right? With the Judgment card, we've started to get enough experiences coming into our lives where we are beginning to relate to other people that we have judged. We are being judged, almost in that same vein. And it's a feeling of really reconciliation. It's a feeling of adjusting your perspective on life and how you see life and how you see yourself in life. And it's certainly a point of understanding. Oftentimes it is a prelude to wanting to go back to previous relationships or events and reconcile, make amends, or perhaps just acknowledge that there's been a difference in the heart. There's been a change of heart. This is how you're seeing them. So I feel like this person, maybe somebody is coming back into you after having maybe been away from you from a time and really learned a bit of a lesson about who they are and who they are in relation to you and what this, what it is that happened between the two of you. You're seeing this coming out this week. They're seeing you as King of Pentacles, so you are doing very well, Aries. You are kind of on top of your game. They're certainly seeing that. They're seeing you as being extremely successful. This could also be coming on the heels, like I said, of them having learned some lessons. This card fell down. Learned some lessons, and now they're coming back and they're seeing you in this space. Now, let's get into your desire. World card, Two of Swords. What do you guys desire? Well, World card really talks a lot about destiny, right? Your place, knowing that wherever you are is the right place, right? Being sure that you are where you're supposed to be on your path, right? It's a real feeling of destiny. It's a real feeling of all of the elements, all of the elements of life working in concert with each other. Oftentimes you will see the four elements which represent the different aspects of life interchanging their wings. And so it really speaks to the interchangeability of these elements, right? In any case, that feeling of knowing that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and this is what your person is desiring. And I feel like part of this reconciliation or this fixing of this challenge is coming back to that feeling where you guys were at before. This really does feel like a reconciliation to me, guys. It could be somebody that you're currently with, but I feel like there has been a falling out, and this person is very much wanting to get back to where they believe they should be. And I feel like part of that is that they feel like this connection with you is where they should be. And if they have messed it up, or if there has been a challenge here or separation or something, they are desperately trying to sort of regain that. What do you desire? Two of Swords. Well, you're in a land of decisions. It's very difficult for you to make the right decisions in this situation, right? It's very difficult for for you to find the right path. Two of Swords is all about sort of oftentimes being given two options that you simply can't choose from. There's also a feeling of pressure here. A lot of times Two of Swords is the land of indecision, but there's a little irritation that comes along with it because we're being forced to make a decision that we aren't quite ready to make, or we're being forced to choose between two options that we haven't really had even a choice over. Right? So is the decision overall even a decision or a choice if we're being forced to choose between two options that we have had no impact on? So oftentimes with Two of Swords, what we want to seek actually is balance. And that's why this is Moon in Libra energy. And again, talks to what I was saying earlier, this feeling of Aries, you wanting to decide your way forward. Yes, there's this lover's energy. Yes, there is this very romantic give and take energy that you're coming into the week with, but I do feel like your person is the one who's really coming into you and wanting this reconciliation. You're not at a point to really, and moreover, let me put it to you a different way. It isn't so much that you're not at the right space to make a decision, but what they are offering you, you are not able to make the decision between one or the other. If this is the case, find a middle way, find a balance, because that's what Two of Swords is really about. Not necessarily finding, excuse me, not necessarily making a decision either way, but finding a balance that is right for you. Do not be pressured, right? This person may indeed, spirit of communication, it could be that they are contacting you now, sending you a lot of love letters, sending you a lot of emails, wanting to get back with you, wanting to pull you back in, right? Now, what needs to happen? Seven of Swords. Well, your person needs to really, for you, Hermit, them Seven of Swords, they need to understand that they can't have their cake and eat it too. Right? This is the problem. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. It may be all well and good that they've learned their lesson and they want to reconcile right now, but it's not really up to them. Right? They have to put the work in. Seven of Swords is all about cutting those corners and really sort of coveting what you want without any thought for anyone else and without putting the actual work in that you need to put in to get it right. Right? This is the thief in the night, and to a certain degree, this person really needs to understand that even though they feel like they may have learned their lesson, they feel like maybe they are coming back with a sense. And I want to say again, learning a lesson is only because this is how you're seeing it. It could be that they are portraying themselves as having learned this lesson with judgment, and yet they're not really there, because Seven of Swords is a real awakening to a kind of surreptitious way of going about it, right? This is also the story of the tortoise and the hare. So there's a sense of entitlement here with this individual, and if they are coming back to reconcile, they're really going to have to put more work in, I think, for it to work for you. You, however, are still in a space of hermit energy, so you're really on this kind of path that is singular, that is all about your growth, your moving forward, your spiritual growth. It can be that it is too late. Or it can be rather that it's not so much that it is too late, but you are very distinctly on a singular sort of path of self-discovery. And this reconciliation that this person wants with you, it may be there, but they can't assume that you are just waiting for them, because you are very much in hermit energy. And you need to, and it's hermit energy is coming out in a position of what needs to happen as well, which means even though this person may be suddenly coming into you with all of the letters, all of the emails and the phone calls that maybe they didn't before, that's making you feel like they're willing to reconcile and that they're sorry, you need to still be not so available. You still need to be on your own. You should still approach this as nothing has changed and you are still well on your own path of self-discovery, because they're really going to have to do a lot more work than Seven of Swords. They're really going to have to put a lot more work in than just assuming that you are waiting there for them. Do you know what I'm saying? This is how I feel about it. And really just don't be too available to them. Maintain, and more than anything, and it's not a game, cat and mouse. I mean this seriously. Don't be too available to them. Also with your focus, don't suddenly switch your focus to all of this that you've been focusing on in your own life to suddenly make room for them, because they are bringing the love letters and all the texts that you had wanted before, right? Just don't be dazzled with this new amount of attention. Seven of Pentacles, Six of Wands is coming out, and that's so big changes. Again, they're feeling themselves, I think, because they had a victory. It could be a victory in business. Some kind of victory. Again, Six of Wands has come out. There's Six of Wands, here's Six of Wands, but we have also death. So there's a real change in the relationship here between the two of you. Something has really happened to change this relationship in such a way that it's just, let me focus this a little bit better. It's just different than it was before, and it needs to be a change. It needs to be a change in the way you respond to them. It needs to be a change in the way they assume things are just going to work their way. Six of Wands is a victory, but I almost wonder if this victory is not also for you too, in a sense that not running back to the same sort of dynamic. Remember, death is there. Sometimes death is in a relationship and the relationship carries on. It's just that it had to absolutely change. The dynamic that it was under had to change for this relationship to move forward. It can also be that this week, remember, it's just a weekly snapshot. It can also be that death is here in the end because this is the week where you guys finally put the final kibosh on this, where the reconciliation really just doesn't get off the ground. The forgiveness, you know, I want to say the elements needed aren't 100% there, and the relationship still suffers a death, as it were, still suffers an ending. Still, balance, balance, justice, sex, and communication is coming in strong. These are very positive sort of oracle energies on this connection, Aries, but it's going to manifest itself in a very, very different way than you expected this week. All right, Aries, I'm going to leave it there for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell for notifications. I do put up a Love Weekly every week for all the signs, so do stay tuned. But for right now, guys, I'm just going to say have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time on your Aries Outlook. Bye-bye, guys.